皆さんおはようございます。Thank you for joining me today. This is the article of the day for September 1st, 2025. 2025年9月1日の今日の記事でございます。Here we have our title. This is 熊を捕まえるため、人が生活している場所で銃を使うことにした。熊を捕まえる。So, 熊 being a bear. 捕まえる to capture or to catch. ため is in order to do this thing. So, 熊を捕まえるため in order to capture bears. 人が生活している So, 人 person 生活している living their daily lives. So, 人が生活している場所 in locations where people live.or where they live their daily lives. 人が生活している場所で de is an at, right? 銃を使うことにした。So, 銃 is a firearm or a gun, right? Guns or firearms. 使う is to use. 銃を使う use firearms or use guns. ことにした。So, ことにした。This is the grammar of the day, ことにする, which is to make a decision to do something. So, in order to capture bears or catch bears, the decision was made to use firearms in locations where people live. So, you've probably seen a few other articles on this channel about bears and how there's an increasing number of bears that are kind of coming into cities, people being attacked, and it's causing lots of problems in Japan. So a decision was made to use firearms in places where people live in order to catch bears. Here is our vocab from the article. We have kuma, a bear, 捕まえる, to capture, or to catch, 生活する or 生活. So 生活 by itself is your daily life. 生活する is to live your daily life. 銃 is a gun or a firearm. 使う is to use. 襲う is to attack. 被害 is damage, harm, or injury. 場所 is a location or a place. 法律 is a law. 市 is a city. 町 is a town. 決める is to decide or to determine. 特別 this is a non-adjective, so 特別 or 特別な is a special something or something to be special. 避難 or 避難するis to evacuate or evacuation. 安全 is safety, and 守る is to protect. Okay, our grammar point for this article is phrase ことにする. And this means to decide to do something or to make it so that something is the case. So in a previous video, we've done ことになる. That kind of is used when something is out of your control. It became a certain way, and you didn't choose that. This is the opposite. So suru and naru are very common in that, or they're found kind of contrast each other. Suru is obviously to make something happen. Naru is for something to happen on its own. So, but it's used in a very similar way. So we've got some examples. 車が壊れたら職場まで歩くことにします. So if my car breaks down, I will walk to work. But with ことにします here, that means I will decide to walk to work when that happens. And then we got 太らないようにスイーツを食べないことにしています. So this is very commonly found in the teiru form. If it's something you do, you've decided to do over a long period of time. So she has made the decision to not eat sweets so that she doesn't gain weight. 食べないことにしています. currently still doing it so that she doesn't eat sweets, making that decision. And then my personal favorite, this is a common phrase that can be kind of funny to use. If you want to say, all right, let's pretend that didn't happen. You can say, なかったことにしましょう. Let's make it so that didn't happen. Let's pretend that never happened.
熊が人を襲う被害が続いています。熊は人が生活している場所にも来ます。今までの法律では、警察がいいと言った時などにハンターが銃を使っていました。今日、新しい法律ができました。人が生活している場所で銃を使うかどうかは、市や町などが決めます。銃を使うのは特別な場合です。とても急いで捕まえなければならない時などです。銃を使う場合には、そこに住む人を避難させて、人々の安全を守らなければなりません。
Okay, so let's break down the article.
熊が人を襲う被害が続いています。
熊が人を襲う被害が続いています。熊が a bear 人を襲う。So 人を襲う。attacking people. 被害。So this is damage, injury, or harm. Pretty much anything, anytime anything happens, someone is hurt or damage is done to a building, we'll use the word 被害。So 人を襲う被害が続いています。So this injury or harm wherein bears attack people. 熊が人を襲う被害で this injury where people are attacked by a bear. Sorry, my English is not with me today. が続いています。So 続く in the ている form here. So is continuing. This is a continuous thing. It's been happening for a while and it continues to happen. 続いています。
熊は人が生活している場所にも来ます。
熊は a bear, and then we have particle は telling us our main subject here, or our main topic. 熊は人が生活している。人が生活している is where people live, or where they're spending their daily lives. 人が生活している場所。場所 is location or place. And then にも来ます。So, come, 来る、に must form 来ます。So, 熊は人が生活している場所にも来ます。When we have a も next to a に particle, that に particle stays there. So, they also come to locations where people live. They're living out their daily lives. Bears are coming to these locations.
今までの法律では、警察がいいと言った時などにハンターが銃を使っていました。
今までの法律では、そうです。では、in or with 今まで、so up until now, connected to 法律 with the particle の今までの法律では。So in the laws up to the current point, 今までの法律では、警察がいいと言った。警察 the police がいい。Then we have いい as in good と言ったとき。So 時 is times or when. And then when the police say, this is 言った you in the past tense. 警察がいいと言ったとき。When the police say it is good, or when it is okay. So 警察がいいと言ったとき。When the police say it's okay. など or other times like that などにハンターが銃を使っていました。So hunters ハンターが銃 guns or firearms を使っていました。So in laws up until the current time, hunters used guns when the police said it was okay, or other times like that, and not in any other cases.
今日、新しい法律ができました。
今日 or 1日, the first day of the month, September. 新しい法律 so a new law, 新しい法律ができました came out or came to fruition. It was completed. A new law was made. できました。
人が生活している場所で銃を使うかどうかは市や町などが決めます。
人が生活している場所 once again, places where people live で at those locations 銃を使う gun use or using guns かどうか so かどうか this is an embedded question we have here. So when we have a phrase かどうか that means whether or not this phrase. So whether or not guns will be used in locations where people live は市や町などが決めます。So 市 town or the city 町 town など so town or city or other things like that village whatever が決めます。So the town, the village, the city will decide whether or not guns will be used in locations where people live. 人が生活している場所 where people live 銃を使うかどうか whether or not to use guns は市や町などが決めます。Cities or towns will determine that.
銃を使うのは特別な場合です。
銃を使う use of firearms or use of guns のは so if we have a verb and we need to change it into a noun to be our topic, we'll use the particle no. So 銃を使うのは so the thing of using guns or gun use は特別な場合です。So 場合 is situation or circumstance and then 特別な場合です。So when guns are used, it is a special situation or a special circumstance.
とても急いで捕まえなければならない時などです。
Okay, so we have とても急いで捕まえなければならない。So とても very 急いで so this is 急ぐ in the te form. If we have 急ぐ in the te form, then another verb, that means hurry to do that verb. So とても急いで捕まえる to catch or capture. And then we have the grammar なければならない must. And then 時などです So such times or the like 時など are when we or they must hurry to capture the bear. 急いで捕まえなければならない時 when it must take a lot of well they have to be quick in capturing the bear. Only those situations, right? Okay.
銃を使う場合にはそこに住む人を避難させて人々の安全を守らなければなりません。
銃を使う場合には So in such times or circumstances when firearms are used, as by being that circumstance, 場合には in such circumstances, そこに住む live there 人 people who live there そこに住む人を避難させて so させる we're taking 避難する to evacuate and putting into 避難させる so this is to make someone evacuate or to cause someone to evacuate so 避難させて make people who live there evacuate 人々の安全 so 人々 is a plural of 人 so people 人々の安全 their safety を守らなければなりません so the same なければならない or なければなりません grammar connected to the verb 守る to protect so when firearms are used what must be done the people who live there そこに住む人を避難させて must be made to evacuate 人々の安全を守る so protect the safety of the people 人々の安全を守らなければなりません so apparently this is becoming more and more of a serious problem I don't know what it is about the climate or environmental factors but seems like bears are more and more frequently coming into cities and attacking people, probably not on purpose, but, you know, when they're frightened and all that stuff. So it's very interesting to see Japan taking this route. So allowing states or cities to make their own decisions on when such things are proper. So, kind of an interesting thing to be happening in Japan because use of firearms and even for hunters and law enforcement and things like that is very restricted. But I guess it's becoming that serious that laws are needing to be changed. So, if you're in any of these cities, be careful. 気をつけてくださいね。熊は怖いです。Thank you for joining me today. That is the article for September 1st. I will plan on seeing you tomorrow. Thank you so much for viewing. And if you like what you're seeing, please go ahead and like this video, subscribe, and I hope to see you again. またね。